Phil Davis, Ancestry Lands, ancestrylands.com. You can always look at the traffic behind me here, as you can see in the mirror. You can see actually the traffic flowing behind me, leaving the Philadelphia area. I wanted to talk about how we vote for our own demise, how we vote for failure in our own life. And we do that, not politician vote, but we voted for our lack of action, our lack of information, our lack of understanding. We're so worried about the day-to-day points in our lives that we miss the bigger picture sometimes. And conversely, some people are more worried about the bigger picture, that they miss the small moments in life. And I'll give that. Some people are worried about their children being happy, that they have a smile on their face, that they're not making themselves available for opportunities that are going to hamper their children, or they're going to be forced to contend with later. The first part of where people are thinking about the day-to-day, that they miss the bigger picture, are people who don't want to discipline their children, don't want to reprimand their children, don't want to experience their children to any kind of challenges, any kind of adversity. And what happens is later on the children grow up, and what happens? They falter under pressure. They have not been tested nor tempered to be able to resist the impact of what the world is coming to. Now, you can avoid fighting with your friends or in your neighborhood or in your school. They can teach you about not bullying. But what happens on the world stage when people get attacked? People over in the other side of the world are dealing with bullies that no one around the world is noticing what's going on. CNN's not reporting it. Fox News is not reporting it. The red, blue, purple states aren't talking about it. They're not showing it. It's not even in your face. You don't know what's going on in India. Only thing you know what's going on is over there in the Middle Eastern area. That's all you know and care about. Or what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. That's all you know about. But the suffering among the other areas, we're ignorant to, because it's not being showcased in front of us. The people who are fighting are people who they don't know, they're not the right complexion for protection. And again, those forces, like I've talked about in other videos, come back to challenge your children when it comes time for buying on real estate markets, getting opportunities, being able to take advantage of opportunities that will be provided to these people once they come over to the country that you're avoiding now. Remember when people first came and they said about Mexicans, and salute to them, they were taking the opportunities that Americans said they were too overly qualified for. You didn't want to pick the fields. You didn't want to own land. So what did they do? They came in and bought the things you did not want. Because another man's trash is another man's treasure. But the thing about it is that eventually the man who is throwing away trash will have no treasures, because everything he thinks is trash. So he doesn't understand what is a treasure. And now, where we've had the Hispanics come up and take value of an opportunity, other cultures have noticed there could be an opportunity, because why are they flowing over? And if you see a path being led where opportunities can be gained, why wouldn't you take advantage of it? It'd be no different than if you were going to a club and you found a way to go in that you didn't have to pay, and you saw 5, 6, 7, 8 people getting in. As opposed to standing at the door with the bouncer, you might go to that door to see if you can get in. Only a fool would not try. So people are willing to take advantage of opportunities that others are being successful at. Let me get a hand in there. And now we see other people are taking advantage and coming over from different countries. Where does that lead you? That leads you to one day not understanding that your child is going to have to compete at a global stage at a national level, when your doctors no longer look like you, when they have names that you can't spell, when you got to borrow vowels because there are too many consonants there, when people say they represent you and they are not from the same areas that you are, they really have no loyalty to you, because again, you're not in the dominant or predominant society. You're not the people who are going to take advantage of opportunities as they come. You're the people that are going to pass up opportunities because other people are looking to take your spot. They're looking to take advantage of all your trash so they can build their own treasure house, then charge you their price. And as this chipping away goes generation after generation, you're left with nothing but an explanation of, hey, we don't have it for you anymore. You now, at one point, were the top, and now you've gone to the bottom. Because you've lacked the hunger for opportunity. You've let your place in society slip by, thinking that the real value that was given to you was represented by your skin color, or the fact that you were already born here, or the fact that you had parents who gave it to you. And for some that may work, but for many it will not. There are people who are hungry out in this world. And when you realize that people are coming in here to take your spot, you'll understand that you need to learn to compete. For the other people that are so worried about the greater things in life, the macro level, that the only thing they see is the end of the road, you're going to miss the day-to-day. You're going to miss trying to provide wealth for your children and a value. You're going to miss the moments where children are looking for you to just be there. You're going to miss the moments where you don't have a social network when you get older and you're 60 or 70 years old, and now there's no more work, but you don't have the friends network for people to come see you later on, either because you burnt your bridges or you never maintained them. You never kept in contact with people, your fair weather friend or family member for that matter. And again, you showed your ass earlier, and now that it's time where you need to be reliant or look to people to look for you, the same strangers that you look around and once called friend or even family that weren't family, they're no longer left aside because they're with their actual friends or family. See, as you get older, at some point, the world goes bigger and bigger. And then at some point, the world reduces again. Oh, the hell you ain't getting in front of me, Mr. Tractor Trailer. He in there smoking weed. Look at this guy right here. Look at this guy right. This tractor right here on the left side. He in there blowing something in there. I know that. And again, you miss the small moments. Yes, as a leader, you have a responsibility, a dual responsibility to burn the candle on both ends. To be able to raise the next generation of tough people that will be able to endure psychologically the world that is going to bring them pain in a different way from the pain you were faced against. Like, our parents had to face segregation and unsegregation and racism where it was pure at that point. And then before, those are the parents that lived in poverty and were the first children of slaves. And then before that, they were slaves. So everyone has to face a different opposition. And that's the same for each person's perspective culture. Because no one, if you look back, no one had it so much better that it's always been just good. A lot of people have had it better than others, that's true. But that does not mean that you can paint that brush with a broad stroke. And now the world is now evened out the playing field to the point where whoever wants it and has learned the rules of engagement, to learn the rules of the game, they are the people that are going to win. You don't raise your children to be critical thinkers. Now they're giving you the internet to eliminate you being able to think and learn how to figure out a problem. Hell, now people can't even look it up, even though the internet exists. I've taught my kids how to search for answers, not to ask me for all the answers. What I want to see is that they've made the attempt to find the information. They made the attempt so I don't have to give them the answer to a problem. Even my wife, who gets pissed off at me a lot about it, I won't simply give her an answer to something she can look right on her phone and find the answer to. A lot of people are mentally lazy, and that's done perfectly to make sure that the people who control you, they've given you the option to think freely. but you have consented to their control. You've had every opportunity to find and own land. I've given you every opportunity to provide it, but once I'm sold out, I can't sell anymore once I decide to stop selling. I can't write anymore. I can't rewrite that book over that I've written, Getting Dollars from Dirt, A Beginner's Guide to Vacant Land Investing. I can't rewrite the book over again to give you the new tips and tricks. I just got to write another book. That book's still available on Amazon for you to purchase so you can understand why you're investing in land, what really matters, and eventually there will be no more land to invest in. Your only option will be to pay the price that others set forth for you to pay. And if you don't have it, then you suffer. The only thing you can do after that point is, like I said, offer yourself as property to be owned. 50 Cent said, get rich or die trying. Now, everybody listened to the song, but seldom did people listen to the message. You could see a person in this country come from a ghetto. They could come from living with their grandparents, not even have their biological parents to instill in them, and you can values, morals, ethics, rules of engagement, education, and they can still make it up to be one of the top well-known people in this country. What is your excuse? You don't need to get to that level, but you can get somewhere comparative. You can't sit downtrodden with excuses. I learned today, man, this is one of the most craziest things that I learned today, is that people will sign up for an electric bill and not pay it for so many months, then get a doctor to write an actual medical note so that way they don't get their light turned off. And this is not like you're late 1 month or 2 months. This is like you might owe $2,000, $3,000 on an electric bill. I've never heard of this. And they're getting a doctor to write a note that says they have a medical necessity for the electricity. Now they're looking for the doctor to save them. And again, you might be going and playing the small violin and saying, I mean this, and that. But again, the people are working every day. Now, I don't understand how you have a cell phone or two, a TV, cable. You got access to TikTok, HBO, ESPN, Cinemax, and a host of others. You got a car, you can put gas in there, but this bill is still sitting here every month. Now, this is something that just blows my mind. People are prioritizing something, and everyone shoots to the smallest denominator that this person has now lost their job. That's not most of the cases here. Most of the cases are people just getting over on the system, and again, they're raising another generation of people to do the same. This is how you get over on the system until the system stops letting you get over on it. Then what do? And again, no one wants to work because you've been given an option to consent to control. Blew my mind. Never ever knew this. I don't even understand it. Now again, this is it. But again, if you give an opportunity to be able to try to work hard to get yourself out of a situation, why don't you do it? And people commit themselves to be owned as property more and more each day. And you know why you have it so tough? You know why? It's because you're finding that in your immediate environment, you're surrounded by people who've consented to being owned. They don't have the will to fight. They love seeing the resistance in Star Wars. They love the anti-hero, like what's his name, Riddick from Chronicles of Riddick. They love seeing the rebellious people. They love seeing the Black Panthers on TV. They love all of that. But when it comes time for you to fight for something, what do? You let it happen to you, right? You don't want to make waves. You don't fight for it. You don't ask for a raise. You don't try to increase your valuation so that way you can change your situation. You won't do it. You just let it happen to you, and your children are watching you. You're not trying to change the situation. You're committing yourself to mental subjugation. Everybody loves the rebellious person that can stand up for themselves. You know, even in The Walking Dead, the people who go against the grain and actually are right in the end, but you don't have that within yourself. You don't have the ability to say, no, I won't go. You leave that for the filmmakers and the people in history that you try to tear down statues to. But again, what have you done to make a change? What have you done to make a change? Okay, everyone will do wrong in their life. Everyone. People in the past have done wrong, have done things that are atrocious, but other people have, the same people sometimes have tried to make change. And the change they have made are the reason why people revere them to this day. And you know what you've done? Complain and judge them. And you have done nothing to change this day for the future that comes tomorrow. Keyboard warriors. Everybody's a tough guy until a person stands in front of them. I had that happen one time. Person's in there over talking on the phone. Then I see them in real life and the energy just dissipates. And I'm not no 6'5" broad guy, but I do have a presence about me that understands if it's time to get busy, it's time to get busy. There's no more talking at some point. What am I saying to cause any kind of, no, but you have to at least attempt to fight. But you do that by fighting when you create value. You can't do that while you're sitting on your behind and saying, I want to lose weight, but I'll take a shot to do it, and I'm still going to keep eating the same damn thing. You're not fighting for anything. Because even though you may lose the weight, your cholesterol will still not be fine because your arteries are clogged up. Your organs have not shrunk, your body fat has. You can cut out whatever you want on your body that you don't like, but you still will not escape old age. You still will not escape organ failure. You will not escape the fact that you have not made connections with people to make sure that you have a network, because when you're 60, 70, you're not going to be hanging out with 20-year-olds, or they're not going to want to hang out with you. You're going to need to find people that you can connect with at that age. I'm bringing you value and knowledge, things that you can think about, because again, everybody's speaking in right now. No one's speaking in the long term. No one sees what life is like down the line, and people aren't thinking long in the long run. No one's playing the long game. When life gets difficult, you'll live long enough to regret. What did they say? A hero will live long enough to see himself become a villain. Think about it, folks. I hope you've been inspired. I hope you've been motivated, galvanized to do something different today. I hope you're not going to sit here and watch this video and pass it up as another video you've seen on YouTube or any other form of social media. I hope you're able to say, I'm charged, and what I'm going to do is make a change and start building towards a different tomorrow for me, for my future, because no one else is going to give a damn about you like you do. Not me, not your family, not your mother, not your father. They say they will, but they don't. It's only you that's going to be able to make that change. And if you won't do it, why the hell should I? Tell me that. If you won't make a change for yourself, why should anyone else do for you? Yeah, everybody will help you first time out of sorrow or pity. Second time, maybe. Third time, not as much. Fourth time, people start maybe not picking up that phone. Fifth time, nobody wants to help you around. Again, because you have not shown that you value yourself and worthy enough to be changing for yourself. You won't do it for yourself. So I'm going to land my plane there. It's time to make a change. I hope you've been educated, enlightened, and entertained. Remember, go to ancestrylands.com to get yourself some property before you are owned as property. Do not allow your ignorance to make you subjugated in your mind or consent to being controlled by others, because you have not created value. You have not created information. You have not been able to critically think. You have not been able to move the needle in your life to change a thing in your day. Phil Davis, Ancestry Lands. Make sure you get in the description section. A link to my book is on Amazon, Getting Dollars from Dirt. You know what it is. Phil Davis, and I'm out. Peace.